Hey y'all, welcome back. We're about to do a little bit of baking. So we're gonna make some banana bread and some blueberry muffins. But I'm not gonna make them into muffins. I like to just do it in a baking dish and cut it into squares. But I'm gonna double all the recipes so we can put some of this in the freezer. This is kind of how I like to do our baked goods. I prefer to do a couple different things at a time and double the recipe so I can put some in the freezer so I'm not looking at having to do this, a couple times a week. I can just heat my oven up once, do a bunch of bacon, and it lasts us for a couple weeks. So we're gonna make some snacks, and my kids also eat on it for breakfast sometimes. So, anyways, I got my ingredients out, and we're gonna go ahead and get started.
All right, so we're gonna start with the with the blueberry muffins is what we're gonna start with. And as you'll see here, I have a little helper. Anytime I break out the baking stuff, he likes to get in there and help me. So you'll see little hands moving in and out with mine. But these are going to be blueberry muffins, but I put it in a 9 by 13 baking dish instead. That way I don't have to mess with the muffin tins. I can just cut little squares out of it, put it on a plate for us to eat. It does tend to be a little bit more crumbly than a muffin, that would have the finished edges just because you're cutting the square out, but it works fine to eat on a plate, and then I don't have to mess with the muffin tins. So I just pour it in the baking dish, and that's how we do it around here. And this is what it looks like whenever it comes out of the oven. It's just nice and golden brown on top, and those fresh blueberries are all throughout it. So I'll sometimes I'll take some of it and do it in like an 8 by 8 pan if I'm wanting to freeze one of them, but this time we just ended up eating on the whole 9 by 13 this week, and the banana breads went in the freezer this time. So that's what you see me starting on here is the banana bread. So just start with some really overripe bananas and using pretty much the same ingredients that I used for the blueberry muffins, just in different measurements, of course. We're going to mix up a couple loaves of the chocolate chip banana bread. If you don't like chocolate chips, or maybe you do like chocolate chips but you want to add nuts to it, we like pecans in this sometimes, but my oldest son prefers it without the pecans, so this time we were just going with the chocolate chips in it. And like I mentioned, this does freeze well. That's why I go ahead and do a double batch of it. So once it cools off, I will just take and wrap it in saran wrap, and I usually stick it down in like a gallon Ziploc bag and then put it in the freezer. I honestly don't know exactly how long it would store in the freezer. I would say probably no more than a month or two, but we always eat it before then, so I can't tell you exactly how long it stays good, but yeah, I'd probably try to eat it within a month. this is what it looks like when it's done. It's nice and golden brown on top, and you got some chunks of banana and chocolate chips all throughout it. Just a tasty treat, and it's not bad for breakfast either. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and be sure to check out the recipes down below in the description.